Hello and welcome to another play of Eldfall Chronicles Northern Wind. This time we will be tackling the EG path, I hope I pronounced it correctly, and let's jump right into the narrative. A narrow cliffside pathway craves its way through the abyssal fog that rolls off the mountain. Disappearing below your feet, you press close to the rock face, traversing a path of well-trodden by a layman. It was a vital lifeline to those dwelling atop the harsh peaks, carrying food, resources, and other essentials from E.G. Village, sustaining the secluded outposts, temples, and hermitages that dotted the heights, while also facilitating trade with distant regions. Above, the mountain's face is adorned with large sculptured statues of divine icons from the Rishinko faith, their earnest expression vigilantly watching over all who pass by. So we have here the setup. Exit is here at the top, and down here is our entrance, or I assume it's these two spaces. And we place the tiles. The heroes. Encounter 1 is placed, as is the difficult terrain here for this whole square, I assume. Or at least I will play it this way. If you have Fate Green C, we don't have it. And we also don't have Fate Green D. So, we skip the weather check once again. If the heroes return to this location, you must retake the quest. Pay attention to fate checks. Okay. And the quest ends if the heroes leave the field through the exit. It's up there. Also, since our event last time, the event Niteros still is inactive, so our leader Anari has -2 offense, defense, accuracy, intelligence, and agility. Luckily, she is an enchanter, therefore she don't have to roll on her enchantments on allies. And we also have the other event, Tormented Souls, which means that the quest with Restless Death is again active, which this one sadly didn't have. I originally thought that this one would also have the Restless Death, and therefore it would be a free quest, but it isn't. But also, we can make a perceived check within 5 spaces of the exit, and on a successful roll, replace Intrigue E token and get to read a secret log. So, exit is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to be on this corner to do that. So it seems more or less straightforward. But let's see what happens. I will start with Sagan, most hit points and most armor, to resolve Encounter 1. To one side, a frail bridge leads to a meditating abode, its entrance framed by small Jizo statues, consecrated ropes, and carvings of praying hands. It is a place of silent reflection set apart from the main path. Opposite the path carves along a rugged mountain ledge. At this desolate crossroad, a monk sits against a stone wall in a hunched meditative pose, his body still and sunken with frozen stillness. A pewter shakujo staff with silent metal rings rests loosely in his left hand. Noticing a small parchment tucked behind his right hand, which rests above his heart, you reach out to retrieve it. As the staff slips from the light monk's grasp, it rings chime, echoing sweetly off the valley walls. Unfolding, the parchment reveals an elegant inscribed missive. Since last Obon, the spirits have grown restless. The annual ritual failed to quell their ire. Our reserves of balm were nearly depleted in the rites of purification of the graves. We have endeavored to guide the spirits home, yet fear they may not depart in peace. Pray dispatch 50 canisters of Deathflower's balm and any available aids with utmost haste. Signed with Abbot of Senjo Iji. I can't read that. It is addressed to the head of the herbalist of Iji village. As you digest the message, a green fire ignites in the distance. The wind howls, stirring bones and rusted metals from the grave around you. Across the gap, the spectral figures of a long-perished warrior stands. Okay, place Forgotten Hero with Watchful. Encounter 2, Encounter 1. We have a Common Luke token. We have a Profane Burner. Represents do not remove dead, hostiles, strategic phase. Okay, here we have the Restless Spirits. Okay. Restless Dead, which is the same as here, so it is still freeloader, lucky. At the start of each hostile, spawn a random hostile 3 spaces north of the first hero. Okay. If there are no more hostiles of the tier of blue, spawn hostile of the next available tier. Okay, this is quite challenging. Command undead spells cannot be used as preferred. Nick for Frost and Necrotic Fog. Range -3. Spell and range attacks when casting spells, range attacks, casters after an attack or roll of 20. It's not affected by a hit. By interact action, spending mana token, -3 more. Flip the token to framework and become an incense burner. Okay. This spawning enemies is quite a harsh rule. Okay. I will put all this up and then we will continue with Sagan's turn. Okay. Here we have our watchful Forgotten Hero. I also placed a few other cards here, Vengeful Spirit, Bonewalker and Oni Marauder, due to spawning enemies at the start of each hostile turn. And with all that, Sagan moved 1, Sagan moved 2. Normally I would try to get the loot token, but since the hostile here will activate and shoot at Sagan, I think I will have a bit another priority. Therefore Sagan will use a dodge action to try and avoid the hit. So Sagan, needing an 11 or less, with an 8, that's fine. The Forgotten Hero needs a natural 1, so a critical hit. 9 would have hit, but Sagan manages to dodge, therefore moving another space up. And with that, I think I would try to rush him to clean the Profane Burner, burn him from the Tormented Soul, and get rid of him as an undead. And afterwards I have to see if I am able to explore all of this. Or maybe I can snack a little bit here, but we will see. Next, since Nara is quite quick on her feet, but so is Theros, let's get into a sniper duel. But before that, if Anari casts, she will be hit by him. So, Theros 1, 2, 3. And from here there is no space, then he will go here 3. Have a line of sight, he will attack the Forgotten Hero. And Theros himself attacks too. Theros needs a 17, but it's, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Theros does not get the +3, but he gets the -3, therefore he's at 11. Ooh. Oh, and also the Vengeful Spirit gets the -6 because it's more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces away. So -6, it will be an 8. Yeah, Theros will attack. So Theros needs an 11 or less. With a 7, he's fine. And the Forgotten Hero, yeah, needs an 8 or less. With a 12, he's above, so Theros wins this confrontation. Excuse me, power 13, assassination 1. Therefore, this is a total of 19 -6, 13 or less. It's a 16, which is a weak point. Here we go. And let's check. Maybe I can do also use the rogue class. Once per activation, successful agility roll after hits grants knockdown. Let's have a quick look here at the complete rules. Not that, just in case that the rogue. No, he can make it even now. So, Theros, please be roguey. It's a 4, which is enough. And now the knockdown trait is, of course, not mentioned here. Let's see what we can come up in the rules. Traits, combat arts. Is it here? Skills, poisoned. Not in the states, so let's knock back, close enough. Becomes crouched. It does not suffer anymore. Okay, it gets the crouch state. Now to the states. And crouched. No. Enemies outside of crouch have no. The model speed softer. Attack value as well. Cannot cause other model during this step. A model crouch state may only declare normal or movement. Well, say voluntarily cancel. If cancelled, the model may declare special movement. This is also cancelled. So, unless the model use. Okay, enemy outside of 3 inches of the crouch model of the same size or larger do not have line of sight to the crouch model unless the model attacks action. Okay. Crouches, model speed and armor is halved. Strike reduced to run. Cannot cause other models movement step a crouch model. Okay, no. I thought that this would cause him to be unable to attack with range, but it doesn't, so with that I will not do that. That does not make any sense. But what does make sense is for Sagan to use another dodge action and try to get the third activation point. Sagan 11 or less. 15 is not good, but 19 of the Forgotten Hero is also a fail. Yeah, so no hit there. And since Sagan dodged, he is allowed to move another space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So around here-ish should be with the range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One and intrigue token, so Nara will be occupied here. Yeah, Theros, 1, 2, 3, goes to the edge, attacks the Forgotten Hero, who in return attacks himself. Theros needing 11 or less, it's a 2. And the Forgotten Hero has a 15, which is not enough. Theros once again wins. 13 or less, it's a 19, which is another wound token. And the Forgotten Hero is out of activation points, which is most importantly. With this, Nara activates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She runs up to here. Spends her other action to go here and investigate the intrigue token. You enter the alcove used by ascetic monks. These recesses are sacred places where monks would often seclude themselves for days on end. You find the startling sight: a self-mummified monk seated in eternal meditation. His preserved form rests beside a wooden chest. It contains a collection of personal belongings. Place 1 superior look token on 1. And with the superior look token, receive Fate E and read Secret Log B13. Okay, I will do that not now, but as soon as I finish the hero's turn, because now Anari will run 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Anari will try to see what is here in the common loot token. So, common loot chart, and it's a 16. 16 is a short sword. I will see if I can get it. So, getting her short sword, superior loot token placement, and then we are done with the hero's turn. I will already flip these around, and I will let you join as soon as I prepare Thorstall's turn. And I totally forgot that range attack suffers my 3 attack modifier. But I will try to do better in the next turn. I placed the superior loot token. Anari has her short sword, and with all that, no hostile was incapacitated. He gets 2 activation points, and we come to Freezing Winds. Oh God, what a great start. Okay. And also, we have to roll on the spawning chart. We roll a 2. And with a 2, we get 1 tier 1 hostile. 1 to 10, 11 to 20. It's a 10, so we will get a Vengeful Spirit. Let me just grab it from here, right behind me. And the Vengeful Spirit spawns 3 spaces north of the first hero. 1, 2, 3. So here he is. And he gets 2 activation points. And he will start. And according to his active, walk is no option, so he will run towards the closest enemy. And yeah, 1, 2, 3 gets into the space of Sagan. Sagan will immediately activate because he wants to hit him. He has 1 for his reactive, 1 for his sentinel, and he will use second wind to get a 3rd strike because his power is halved, needing a 14 or less. 16 and 20 fail to hit, but the 9 hits. 15 in total, halved 7.5, therefore 8 or less. And a 6 is even enough to destroy him. But since there's no burn, it will just lay low. Now, the Forgotten Hero will activate. And it will shoot at Theros. And since Theros gets an additional -3, Theros will try to dodge it. Okay, Theros trying to dodge, 13 or less. It's a 9. Does the hero get a critical hit? With a 4, no. So Theros managed to avoid it. It's the closest enemy. Yeah, I will say it's Theros. And now Theros will dodge 1, 2. Or will he? Yeah, 1, 2. He will dodge there. Now I think Sagan is the closest, therefore Sagan will try to dodge. With a 7 he is good. The 2 would be a hit, but is not a critical hit. Therefore, Sagan is also allowed to dodge another space if he wants to. This one will return at the start of its beginning. So Sagan will just dodge 1 space back here. Let's see what happens next. So now the hostiles turn, and it starts with the freezing winds. Anari, 11 or less. It's a 9. She's good. I'm glad to see that. Let's continue with Sagan, 19 or less. 5, he's good. Theros, 13 or less. 15, and will he get wounded? With 20, let's see. Must perform a toughness roll on a failed. Yeah, he is not only fated, he also suffers a wound. And Nara, with a 3, she is fine. Okay, he is unable to move, these 2 are able to move, and she is able to move. I will, at the beginning of a turn, Nara will go with second sight, spectral sight, just to get advantage against undead. But before that, I do something, because here there's no line of sight. I will interact with the superior loot token. I will receive Fate E and Secret Lock 122 B13. B13. As you pursue through the monk's belongings, you hear a rustle and rattle behind you. Place 2 random tier 1 hostiles on the space adjacent to 1. Great. So, 1 Vengeful Spirit and a Bone Walker. I will just grab these. And in this instant, greed didn't pay it off at all. So here we go. And also these 2 are getting activation points. Okay, 1, 2. Will there be a line of sight here in the middle? From here, you could argue there will be. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here to there. -3 intelligence. Okay, she's only here to buff this time. Yeah, come on. And Neri moves, triggering an action from the Forgotten Hero. She will cast... Sorry, I just turned this around. She will cast the Burning Touch to get Sweep 1 and Burn and magical attacks onto Nara, which will succeed because of her enchanter. But now 18 minus 6, 12 or less. With a 7, this is a hit. Nara loses her second activation. Power of 13 minus armor 3, 10 or less. 12 is no wound, but it's a weak point. Activation is down. And she staggered and poisoned 1. And I just read on the Discord that the poison is until the next strategic phase, so she got it her, so until her next. Now, Nara will activate. I will just turn 1 around here to symbolize that she activated. And she will attack the Vengeful Spirit. And she has 2 strikes. The Vengeful Spirit has 1 in defense. 8 or less for the Spirit. 14 is not good enough. Sagan is not engaged. She is not boosted. That's what I'm trying to unlock. Therefore, she will only have an offense of 14. 20 and 7. 1 is enough. Power, no armor, but magical attack. And she has a total power of 14. With an 11, that is enough to wound the spirit. And the burn, 17 is not enough to destroy it. So this one will return. Now the skeleton is also a hit. And it will suffer a power 14. Minus armor 2. 12 or less. It's a 7. And the burn is a 13, which is enough to destroy it so that it does not return. And now hit and run. 1, 2, 3. She is able to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it could attack a Nari and or Nara. Therefore, Nara will try to make a dodge action. Trigger another attack from the Forgotten Hero. Forgotten Hero shoots. 6 will be hitting, but an 11 is enough to dodge. Therefore, 1, 2, 3, and Nara stays where she is here. Now, Sagan. Will Sagan activate? Yes, Sagan has to activate to move 1 space, so he will also use a dodge action. Sagan dodging. 10 is good. Forgotten Hero with a 7 is no critical hit, so Sagan dodges successfully into the space of the Vengeful Spirit. Now, let's go right into the opponent's turn, where the Vengeful Spirits are reanimated. Each one getting activation points. And here we are 2. Even when the freezing says during the strategic phase, the model must perform a toughness roll. With plus armor modifier, creatures cannot apply arm. Well, on a fail, the model becomes fatigued. Models with 1 or more wounds. Okay, so all have to do that. Let's start with this one. No armor. Toughness 10. 5, it is good. This one. 15, it is not good. It is fatigued. Okay, where is the fatigue marker? Is there fatigue? Yeah, this one should be the fatigue marker, so this one is fatigued. Creatures cannot apply their armor. 13 or less. 5 is good. He is still fatigued. Sagan is fine. Anari isn't fine. So Anari is fatigued. And Nara isn't fine. I don't like that. I will do it as I did previously. Because this is too much bookkeeping in my taste. So you are getting and you will getting attacks, and I will do it once in my turn for my heroes. This might be not in the sense of the rule, but rolling every time to see who can, who cannot. This card is no fun for me. I really dislike it because it is so random. The freezing effect is too hard, I think. At least that's my opinion. Might be only that I roll badly, but I think that this is quite a powerful weather effect. So with all this, I hope I get another weather effect. We are at the night. 2 tier 1 hostile in front of the first hero. Okay, so with this first, we will getting him up there. And we get the second Bone Walker. Up here. And also, rolling on the chart, it's a 17, 1 tier 3 hostile player choice. We are getting an Oni Marauder. One, two, 3 spaces, and the Oni Marauder is the first one to activate. 1, he has 2 spaces, so he can move into the same space as the Bone Walkers. 1, 2, he cannot go into the same space as Theros, but what he can do now is attack. Theros has no activation points. Sagan could... Yeah, Sagan will react to it. Sagan will use... No, he will not react to it because he has no chance to do enough damage, even with a bleed, to stop the Oni Marauder. So the Oni Marauder has strike 2, hitting on 14 or less, 1 hit. Power 19 with an 11, that is another wound, and with this Theros is down. I assume that downed heroes do not take up spaces, therefore the Oni Marauder goes up to here. Now it attacks Sagan. Sagan will react by attacking in return, making a confrontation out of this. He will reduce the Oni Marauder's offense by 3 using Masterful Parry. 11 or less, it's a 4. And Sagan rolls a 7 and a 13. He wins the confrontation. It's the Oni Marauder 2 times. Power 15, minus armor 3, 12 or less to wound. 18 and 19, it's not good enough to do any damage on the Oni Marauder. Now, let's start with... Okay, the skeletons cannot move here because they cannot move through this space because it is full. This space is full, so they're basically out of order. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, runs up to here and attacks Nara, which will both will wait because they have foresight. So the spirit attacks with its second activation. It fails, and Nara will use this to dodge, just so that Sagan is not in any confrontation or does not get any penalties, even when he wouldn't because of the protector ability. And now this Vengeful Spirit will activate. It will attack Sagan, and Sagan, with his 1 reaction left, will stay where he is. Will he defend? One way, he will defend. reducing the spirit's attack offense by 3, therefore 7 or less. It's a 6. Sagan 14 or less. 15 and 20, he fails. So a 3 is enough to wound because it ignores armor. And now, since Sagan is out of activations, Spirit's next attack, it's a 17, which fails. 2 hit attacks from the Forgotten Hero. First at Nara, she will wait with her reaction. A 6 will hit, therefore she will try to dodge. 11 is good enough to dodge. She will stay where she is. And second attack is a natural 20, which fails. So, yeah, and these two, as I said earlier, they cannot do anything. So with this, let's see which heroes can activate. Yeah, Theros is incapacitated, but he can use the medicine to come up by himself. And this will be an... Okay, usually he would get into the space here. Yeah. Might be something to clarify as heroes take up a slot. Might because they have the incapacitated state. Okay. Just a little repositioning. Here we do it that way, that he stood there. Would he be able? No, he wouldn't be able to move through it. He cannot go in this space because of Theros. One way or another, Theros is in a pickle. I will just roll, first of all, Anari. 11 is just enough for her. Sagan, 8 is fine. Nara is fine. Theros, he would be fine too. Okay. Normally he couldn't go up there, therefore he couldn't have attacked. But the one of these, okay, I will just do one of the Bone Walkers go up, attack Sagan. 12 should be enough because 2 undeads are there, and a 4 is enough to wound, and the other attack 8 is enough, and a 5 is enough to wound. So with this, Sagan is even down with 3 wounds. Okay, so Theros is here, Sagan is there. Theros will use the medicine onto himself in the strategic phase, therefore regaining 1 wound and 2 activation points. Now, let's see. I have all of my heroes. There are quite a few reactions. The only Marauder will activate as soon as Theros does anything. I need a sweeping. When Sagan attacks this one, sweep 1 will go over to this spirit. It will proc the reaction from the Forgotten Hero, but I need for that I need first of all give him ignore armor and burn. Okay, I think I have a semblance of a plan. And Neri starts casting Melting Touch onto Sagan to give him magical attacks and ignore armor, which triggers the first reaction from here right behind. 13, thanks to the -6, is not enough. He fails. She's allowed to move 1 space up to here. And now she will cast Burning Touch onto Nara to... Burning Touch? Let's go also with Melting Touch onto her, triggering a second activation right here. 20 is still not enough, so ignoring armor and burn. So far, so good. Sagan will attack this Bone Walker, who in return will attack Sagan. Sagan will reduce the defense because there are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 other undead, so from 12 down to 9. 9 or less. 15 is not enough. And Sagan 14 or less, 8 and 20, ignoring armor. It's a 9, which is enough. The burn says 3. This one will not return. The sweep goes over to this Vengeful Spirit because it's in the same in melee reach. So 17 is not enough to wound, but Sagan's attack will also trigger the Forgotten Hero. With a natural 20, it fails again. Okay, and now, excuse me, Sagan will once again attack. This time the Vengeful Spirit, which rolls a 2. Sagan 13 and 11 wins the confrontation. Last attack from the Forgotten Hero, 11. 14 is an 8 or less, so the Forgotten Hero fails to hit Sagan. 2 hits Sagan's account, 4 and 11, and the burn 16, and in the Discord I read that it's for each die, so it's another wound which emulates this one. Theros is in melee reach of the Oni Marauder, therefore Theros can only try to dodge while the Oni Marauder attacks. It has a defense of 10, 12, and Theros rolls a 19, so both fumble more or less. Goes 12 up to here. Excuse me. And now Aneri casted 2 times. Sagan activated 2 times. Theros once and Nara once. Now Nara activates. She will go into the space as the Vengeful Spirit and attacks. Vengeful Spirit with an 11 fails to defend. Nara 3 and a 9. 2 hits, 14 or less. 2 wounds and burn. Natural 1 and 16. With this Vengeful Spirit is also done, and now hit and retreat. She's allowed to reposition. 1, 2, 3. But that was her first activation, yeah. With her second activation, she will cast. What will she cast? She has to cast before that Sagan can get up, sorry. 4 and 18, second chance, so Sagan would be up with 2 hit points, and let's do it this way. Sagan gets up. It's only 1 hit point anyway. Here. Okay, this was a major blunder because I forgot that Sagan is actually down because of the Bone Walker. I will let Sagan stay here where he is. Nara is out of activations as a compromise. And I will also say that Theros is out of activation as a compromise. So basically I'm doing this because I forgot that Sagan was down because of the 3 wounds that are here. Anari loses her bleeding marker. Yeah, these are a lot of rules to keep in mind if you're playing alone. So there are no undead who are down. We have to roll on the spawning chart. We have to draw a card. Spawning chart is a 19, 1 tier 3 creature. So we are blessed with a second Oni Marauder. Let me just grab it. One, two, three. Here we go. Now, activation points. 1, there, and here. And we start with go next to the chaos deck. On the space there has an intrigue token, close to enter. If there are no intrigues on spawn 1 space. Okay, and another tier 1 1 to 10. It's a 3 behind the last hero. Here we go. Okay, all have activation points. Oni Marauder starts first. Goes up to here. To attack. Active gets the first activation. So even if Nara would react and go up there, she wouldn't be unable to give Sagan any boost. She will wait with her reaction because of Foresight. But let's see what happens now. Sagan attacks, Oni Marauder attacks. Sagan is up to 2 wounds. 1, 2, and he activates. Oni Marauder only an offense of 11. 20 and it's a 3. Yeah. Sagan 4 and a 16. The 4 wins the confrontation. Ignoring armor, it's a 7. Therefore, the Oni Marauder gets his first wound. What does the burn say? It's a 15, which is just enough to give it a second wound. And this Oni Marauder gets the bleed condition. Now it will attack again. And Nara. Will Nara dodge into the space? No, she will not dodge into the space. The Oni Marauder will attack again. And Sagan will, once again, make a confrontation out of this. So Sagan is out. The Oni Marauder, 11 or less, 9 and 3. And Sagan, 13 and a 2. The 2 is out, but the 9 and the 3 are out because of Sagan's 13. Sagan wins again with a 5. It's a 3rd wound. And the burn, 7 is enough to put the Oni Marauder down and burn it from the field. Okay. Sagan out of activations. Now this Oni Marauder will activate 1, 2. It will attack Sagan, but before it does so, it was another strategic phase. He used it in the strategic phase, and the strategic phase gets it back. I will keep it this way. He will use the soporific grenade. -3, so therefore Theros needs an 11 or less. 5 it hits. The Oni Marauder must do a half more, so 7 or less. It's an 18, and with this it is incapacitated. Okay, and the soporific grenade is done for the moment. Now this Bornwalker, 1, 2, gets into the same space as Sagan and attacks him. This will trigger, I most likely Nara will react and attack it. So, starting with the Bornwalker, 17 fails to hit Sagan. Nara will attack in her reaction. Only 1 attack, but since Sagan is engaged, it will be +3 on her defense. Therefore, it's a total of 15. 16 is not enough. Second activation of the Bornwalker. 3 is enough to hit Sagan, but a 14 is not enough. It is enough to give Sagan a 3rd weak point. So here we are. Nara will also react. 14 is enough to hit. 8 is enough to wound and burn. Natural 1 is enough to put it down once again. This Vengeful Spirit will walk into the space of Anari and attack. Anari will wait. A 9 is enough to hit because offense of 10. She will react in this case by using Water Lash, which can be a melee attack. -2 because of Night Terror. She needs a 14 or less. It's a 13, which is just enough to win this confrontation. It has a power of 8. 11 is not enough, but it gains knockback 2. And she will put it 1, 2. Just so that it now can attack Nara and Theros. And it will 1 to 10 Nara. it will attack Theros, and Theros will use his sword to react. Now he will make a dodge. Theros will make a dodge. And starting with the Vengeful Spirit, a 9 will hit. Dodging with an 11, it's enough to dodge the attack. He is allowed to move 2 spaces. 1 to getting up to here. Okay. At the back. Forgotten Hero at Nara. 19 misses. And the second one, 5 hits. And it's a natural 1. This is a wound on Nara. She will be poisoned. And staggered is not important in this instance. Okay. So, getting all these activation points turned around just to symbolize whose turn it is. And giving all these reaction token or activation points. 2, 3, 4. Anari, 1 is fine. Sagan, 4 is fine. Theros, 8 is fine. And Nara, 9 is fine. Okay. All of them are good. I definitely have slain a Bone Walker here, so definitely getting 1 point here. Because he was engaged. And now, what do I want to do? Let's start with Anari, who's casting Melting Touch on Nara, which will trigger the first activation of the Forgotten Hero down here. 15 fails to hit, which is good because now can Anari go here because of Arcane Step. And now... Anari will cast Melting Touch onto Sagan, which will trigger a second activation. And a 16 is still not enough. Now let's see what can we do. Nara will go into this space, attack the Vengeful Spirit. Before that, Theros will activate, attack the -3 on range attacks. It doesn't make sense. Theros. Okay, Nara. I stabled my decision. Nara goes. Here comes, let's start with this from behind. 12 is not enough. And now Nara with 2 airstrikes. The Vengeful Spirit gets a 9, which is not enough because it has a defense of 8. Nara rolls a 10 and a 3, which are 2 hits. 3 and a 6 are 2 wounds. And the burn, 5 and 12, both is enough to immolate it. Now hit and retreat. 1, 2. At 1, she goes only up to here. Staying out of reach from the Oni Marauder. Because now Sagan will activate. Will he? Before that, just to avoid being staggered, Theros will activate and he will make a dodge. So the Forgotten Hero with a 12, it is not enough because of -6, so Theros can go up to here. Oh, this one is incapacitated. Also, Theros gets his medicine back, and I think he also gets the Soporific Grenade. What does the quick reference says to Alchemist? Replenish non-arcane consumables in strategic phase. So yeah, Theros is fine. And he could have also used in the strategic phase, yeah. He would have used his medicine on himself in the strategic phase to get another hit point. But now it failed becomes until the next strategic phase. Yeah, okay. Sagan will attack. I will play the Soporific Grenade How do I until now the next strategic phase was the opponent's, but it was in the reactive hero, so it's the hero's turn and until the next strategic phase of its own, so it is still incapacitated, does not regain any activation points. So Sagan can go ham on it with Second Wind and Melting Touch. So 14 or less, 3, 3, and 5. These are 3 hits, 15 or less. 2 wounds with a 5 and 10, the 20 is not good enough. And the Melting Touch, 4 and 8, these are 3 wounds immediately. And this is a second activation. Oh, it had a second activation because of Theros dodge. So yeah, I think this one is out of activation points. And now Nara will activate. She will go up to here and attack. She has 2 normally, 1 because of the claw, and he is out of activation points. And she is next to Sagan, therefore +3. She's total of 17, which is enough here to hit. And with 3, 2, and 9, these are 3 wounds. And the burn 16, 16, and 17 would not be enough. But I will, despite it, put this one to the side because only undead will revive, not non-undead. And with this, I get a second activation synergy point up to here. And I will put the Boltzard Prowess onto Nara. Just to, in case Sagan is in a melee where Nara isn't, she gets Boltzard in her offense and defense. And since Nara put this down, she can hit and retreat, 1, 2, 3. And Sagan activated once, there was once, Nara twice. Now, 1, 2, this one is out of activations. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sagan, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go on with Sagan. 1, 2, 3, 4. He runs into encounter 2. At the crossroad, a weathered signpost marks a path north to the old cemetery burial grounds, east to E.G. Village. Below, a note cautions, beware lost spirits. The warning is ambiguous. Perhaps a plea against straying alone, or a foreboding sign of restless souls lingering in the mist. Either way, it's nothing new to you. 7 becomes second exit to the old cemetery, and exit becomes to E.G. Village, and place common loot tokens. Before that, Sagan will go up to here. And there are days where he is just to give a Nari a little bit more protection. 1, 2, he goes up to here to be the last hero just in case. Okay, I will place all the markers and then we'll go to the hostiles' turn. Okay, I placed everything, but Sagan still has the Ranger class, so he goes 2 spaces back to Nara, standing next to her. Before now, let's see what the spawning chart says. It's an 18, which is another Oni Marauder. 1, 2, 3 spaces in front of the heroes. Excuse me. Okay, here we are. Oni Marauder activates. I will just do it to the side. 1, 2. Has a movement of 2, stays where he is. He will attack our heroes. Let me just turn this around. Let's see what happens. And it's a 6. 1 to 6 I thought of Nara, so therefore Nara will be hit. Nara will wait with her reaction. But Sagan will do a dodge. Dodging, Nara will wait. Because of his protector, he gains a free action with strike 1 attack, gaining knockback 1, but he has no attack which would be in reach. Actually he would, because here it's a 2 space. Okay, then Sagan will use his protector skill, even better, to get a strike 1 attack, and he will use his masterful parry to reduce the Oni Marauder's... Wait a second, Nara is boosted. She has a defense of 12 boosted. Now with bolstering prowess, it's total of 15, and she's in the same space as Sagan. She's at 18. 18 against 14. Nara will wait with her reaction, but most likely will attack. Sagan will not use his protector skill. He will trust in Lady Luck and Nara, and the Oni Marauder will try to smash Nara. 14 or less. 9 and 4. Nara with a 19 plus 6. She is at 18. Yeah. Wrong choice, Sagan. Nara fails. 10% chance. So 2 hits for Nara. These are 2 wounds, and Nara is down. And Sagan gets 2 hits, 5 and 10, which is also enough to put Sagan down. So wounds go up here. 1 and 2. Yeah, not the smartest choice. Now the Oni Marauder's second turn. This is 4 people space. 1, 2, 3, 4. He runs up to here. This one attacks Anari. Anari will wait. 7, 18 minus will hit Nara. Will hit Anari, and Nari will wait what will happen with the attack. 9. It will wound, so Anari tries to dodge. Agility minus 2, so 10 or less. It's a 19. She's hit. She takes a wound. Is also down. And now Theros is getting hit. No, he isn't. He would also have tried to make a dodge. Yeah, he would make a dodge to Anari's space. So let's see. Theros with a 4 is fine, because of the Tormented Soul. I totally forgot. Spawn 2, okay. Yeah, I will do that in... I forgot that, so let's see. Okay, I noticed that my camera was corrupted, or the footage was corrupted, so I was able to recreate to the point where I mentioned that I forgot to draw the Precarious Ambush, where I spawned 2 new tier 1 hostiles, and I rolled Avengeful Spirit and Bonewalker, who both 1, 2, 3, 4 are only able to go up to here because of the space slots. And with that, I will get into the hero's turn, and it starts with Theros getting medicine, which he will use to get Anari up. And now the Anari with a 15, she will get no activation points, and Theros with a 9, he will get activation points. And Theros will immediately start by using a Soporific Grenade onto the Oni Marauder, which will trigger a reaction from the Forgotten Hero. Let's see, Theros, 6 he will hit. Forgotten Hero with a 5 will also hit, and a 7 will wound Theros. I think this is from my previous turn before I noticed that my footage was corrupted, so this plays out exactly as previously. Only thing is that the Oni Marauder last time Theros hit with a natural 1, and the Oni Marauder managed his Marauder with a natural 1. I will just repeat that, but nope. The Oni Marauder in this instant is incapacitated, and I have to see what will happen next, because now she will not get any activation points because she is fatigued. Theros will get 2. The Oni Marauder will not get any. But I believe movement you are allowed is here something. Rolls, weak point, distance, casting, quest elements. Come on. Concentration area, movements, walk or climb. They says nothing about friendly. What about the rules here? Distance and measure. Inventory, reroll. Okay, these are the basic rules. Awareness, states, line of sight, reach. Casting auras. Is movement more on the front. These are gameplay sequences. Movement, the crouch step, action step, okay. Ranging, resolution, hostile. It is a complex game. I will have a look at the rules, see if they are able to move through, and I will let you join as soon as I have found the rule in question. I found it under the general movement rules, where it is stated you may move through allied models but not through enemy models. So this means that now these two are able to walk up to here, and 1 to 10 forgotten vengeful spirit. Vengeful spirit it is. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get into the same space, but this will trigger a reaction from Theros? Where's the line of sight icon? It is here right in the middle. Yeah, Theros would have used his grape shot to throw at here to hopefully hit both. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, therefore he needs an 11 or less. It's a 14, which is not enough. And now the Vengeful Spirit will attack 1 to 10 and Nari. He will attack a Nari. With the 18 it fails. Now the Bone Walker 1, 2 and the second one 1 to 10 and Nari, because this is a 3 space slot. He will attack a Nari 2. Seeing if he hits 11 or less. It's a 19, he also fails. Here, 1 to 10, a Nari. It's a Nari, so 18, 12 or less. Oh, 18, and this, since it is engaged, he will hit his ally because it's 17, 18, 19, 20. So 17 is not enough, but the Vengeful Spirit gets a weak point. Second attack, 15 is not enough, but also not bad enough to wound another hero. With this, it's these two I forgot to roll once again on the spawning enemies. It's an 18, which is another Oni Marauder. 1, 2, 3, so up to here. And another. To highest tier house stats, remove all states. Okay, shuffle into the chaos state. So the Oni Marauder remove all states. Now this is interesting because I have to see when the chaos card will be drawn, because if it is before, no, it is after the upkeep phase, so it still has the incapacitate and does not regain any HP. Okay, but with this, this one has to stay here because the Oni Marauder would have go here. 1 to 10 and Nari. It's Theros. Theros would have dodged the first attack of the Oni Marauder. Oni Marauder strikes with a 2 and a 4. With a natural 1, Theros evades the first one. And the second... okay, Theros would have used here a second dodge instead of attacking. So with this... with this, Theros dodged both successfully with a 12. So no hit, therefore no sweep. Lucky for the heroes. Okay. Now let's see. Anari with an 18 is still fatigued, and Theros with a 19 is also fatigued. Do they get wounds? Anari with a 12 gets a wound. Theros with a 16 gets a wound. Both heroes are down. And this is the end to this quite chaotic E-League pathway. So sorry for this being a little bit chaotic here. But until my two melee combatants went down. I was quite positive to win this using the getaway to the exit, but nope, it shouldn't be, so I have to retry this. An interesting mission, but as I said right in the start, this one, I really don't like this card. So, I will try this again, and I hope you, despite all this little mess and chaos, you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!